turned pro.
I'm Murphy Foss, and I play travel baseball for RamZone Baseball Academy. We've traveled places like Massachusetts, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, North Carolina, and Georgia. I started playing for RamZone when I was 10.
I started playing when I was 11, and I stopped playing a year ago.
I'm Andrew Ortega, and I have played travel baseball. I started when I was 12. I've traveled all over the East Coast.
I think spending thousands of dollars on youth sports makes sense for someone that's playing one sport and maybe committed to that sport to try to play in college at the age of 15 or 16. But if someone is 10, 11, or 12 at a young age in middle school or elementary school, it really doesn't make any sense for them to play organized professional sports.
I think that spending thousands of dollars on youth sports is an unfair advantage for kids because if one child has more talent than another child but cannot financially afford youth sports, but the other child can, then he will have an unfair advantage against that kid. And therefore, he will probably go to a better college for that sport and then turn pro more likely.
I think spending a lot of money on youth sports could potentially be good for families because if they're putting their kids in the eyes of scouts, then they could receive scholarship money. But it could be potentially unfair because some families won't be able to afford it, and it will create a gap between how many kids are able to be seen by scouts.
The person we eliminated was Murphy Foss.
But come on!
How do you think increased competitiveness among youth sports impacts pro sports?
I think competitiveness among youth sports won't make that big of a difference to pro sports because the majority of the kids will not go on to play in college. Even less of them will go on to play in the pro. So I think competitiveness in youth sports is a good thing because it shows kids how to compete and be successful in life.
I think that the increased competitiveness among youth sports will actually increase the number of kids that will make it into the pros because when you're playing at a more competitive level when you're younger, you have a better chance of, you already know how to be competitive, so you'll have a better chance of making it to the pros.
The winner was Stephen Baker.
Oh, what a shock. These judges are biased, like usual. How are youth sports in the JD area affected by this?
Youth sports in the JD area are affected by this because when kids go out and play youth sports, they gain skills and they hone in on their talent to get better. So when they come back for the JD team sports, we're a much more competitive school and better team in the area.